Now let's talk about which piece is a fair share. So recall that we were talking about Demetrius and Clarence, and that they were sharing a pizza that's half mushroom and half olives that had a total value of $18. And we calculated earlier that the fair share value for both Demetrius and Clarence is $9 because that's the total value divided by the two players. Now let's look at some pizza pieces and see if they would be fair share pieces for Demetrius. So recall that the total value of the pizza is $18 and that Demetrius likes mushroom 5 times as much as he likes olives. And we found out earlier that what that means is the mushroom side in this case is worth $15 for Demetrius and the olive side is worth $3. So our question here, which of the following pieces is a fair share for Demetrius? So let's look at each piece. What about this olive half? Would that be fair? Well, from our earlier calculations, this olive half is worth only $3. And our fair share value, remember, is, I'm going to write it over here, the fair share value that we found earlier is $9. So if this piece is only worth $3, the answer to the question is no, this is not a fair share. And the reason it's not a fair share is this is less than the $9, and it has to be at least $9 to be a fair share. So let's look at this next piece. This next piece is cut just like this. It is half mushroom, half olive. This whole piece over here, half mushroom, half olive. And so recall, we're thinking about Demetrius and whether this piece is fair for Demetrius. Remember that the mushroom half is worth $15 and the olive half is worth $3. So let's figure out what this green piece is worth. Well, it's half of the mushroom, which is $15. So 1/2 times 15, plus half of the olive, which is $3. So half of 15 is $7.50, plus half of 3 is $1.50, which makes a total value of $9. So what do we say about this mushroom, half olive piece, this green piece? Yes, it's fair. And why is it fair? Because it's worth, ooh, that's a terrible 9. It's worth $9. Now let's look at one more piece here. This side here, the mushroom side. So recall for Demetrius, the mushroom side is worth $15 and the olive side is worth $3. So the value of this mushroom side is $15. Would that be fair for Demetrius? The answer is yes. Why? Because it's at least $9. Matter of fact, it's more than $9. At least $9. Now let's look at some pieces for Clarence to see if they would be fair. So recall that Clarence likes olives twice as much as mushroom, and we want to look at each of these pieces and see whether they would be fair for Clarence. So if he likes olives twice as much as mushroom, remember that we found earlier that that means that this olive side is worth $12 to Clarence, and the mushroom side is worth $6. So what about this mushroom piece? Would it be fair? Well, what's the fair share value? Let's write it again so we remember. The fair share value is $9. So this mushroom half is worth $6. So is it fair? The answer is no, because it's not at least $9. What about this green piece? Well, before we can figure out what this green piece is worth, we have to go back and recall that the mushroom side is $6 and the olive side is $12 because we found it earlier. So what we've got going on here is half the mushroom side this time would be 1/2 times 12, plus half of the olive side, 1/2 times 6, plus half of the olive side would be 1/2 times 12. Half of 6 is 3. Half of 12 is 6. You add that together and you get 9. So what about this green piece? Yes, because it's at least 9. And what about this little piece over here? This is not even all of the olive half. It's a piece of the olive half. And this description tells us that it's 3/4 of the olive half. So let's find out how much that's worth. Remember again that this mushroom side is worth 6 for Clarence, and the olive side is worth 12. We found that earlier. So if we want to find the value of this side, it's 3/4 times the olive side, and 3/4 times 12 comes out to be $4.50. So that red piece of the olive side is worth $4.50. Is it a fair share? The answer to the fair share question is no, not a fair share. Ooh, that's an N, pretend. Not a fair share. Why is it not a fair share? Because it's not at least, what? $9. All right, enough of the pizzas. Let's go on to some sandwiches and look for fair shares. So let's recall that Toas and Jade bought a sandwich that's half veggie and half meatball, but the total value of the sandwich was $9. So a fair share value for each of them would be $4.50. That's the total $9 divided by 2. So let's look at some sandwich pieces and see if they're fair for either one of these players. So this is already marked to remind us what the values are for Toas. He likes veggie twice as much as he likes meatball. That makes the vegetarian side $6 and the meatball side $3. But our question is, which of these pieces is a fair share? And this time, the way fair share is marked here is by this little red marking. So we're talking about the part of the sandwich that goes from the 6-inch mark to the 12-inch mark. And a way to symbolize that is with these brackets, 6, 12. That means from the 6-inch to the 12. And of course, that's the meatball side. And we already know the value of the meatball side. The meatball side is worth $3 because we calculated it earlier. Would this be a fair share? Well, what was the fair share value? Let's remember, the fair share value was $4.50 for each player. Why? Because that's what you get when you take the total value 9 and divide it by the 2 players. That's where that comes from. So would it be fair for Toas to get the meatball side? No, not fair, because it's less than $4.50. Okay. So let's look at this side and let's see if this would be fair for Toas. Remember, the vegetarian side is worth $6 and the meatball side is worth $3. But now the piece we're looking at is the piece that goes here from the 4-inch mark to the 12-inch mark. So what would be the value of that piece? Certainly more than $3. So we know that it's at least $3 plus this little portion of the vegetarian side. Well, how many inches is that? That's 2 inches. 1, 2. And if this whole side is worth $6, $6 divided by 6 inches makes each inch worth $1. So if each inch is worth $1, we know that those 2 inches are $2 plus, what's the whole meatball side? $3, which equals $5 for this piece from 4 to 12. So we'd have to say about this piece being a fair share, well, we'd have to say yes, because $5 is at least $4.50. It's more than $4.50, so it's at least that. So I have to say this for anybody else who might be thinking something else about how to do this problem. If we think about this side of the sandwich, that 4 to 6 inch piece is actually 1/3 of the vegetarian side. So we could have found the same answer by doing 1/3 of 6 plus the $3. And 1/3 times 6 certainly is $2. 2 plus 3 would again give us $5. Okay, one more example. Let's see if we have enough time to do one more. I think we do. Let's go down a little bit and see what else we've got here. So let's suppose Angelo and Simone bought a sandwich for $18 that was half veggie and half meatball, and they want to share it. What would be a value of a fair share for each of the players? $18 divided by 2, which equals $9. And it would be the same for both Angelo and Simone. So keep that $9 fair share value in your head, and let's look at the next situation. So Angelo and Simone bought a sandwich, and now we've got some information about how they feel about the sandwich. Angelo likes meatball and veggie equally, right? And Simone likes veggie twice as much as meatball. So we have two sandwiches here. Whose is whose? Well, that must be Angelo's because that's where it's equal. And this must be Simone, the way Simone feels about it. And it asks us which of the following pieces would be fair for Simone, but why don't we just look at each of these pieces and see, is this fair for Angelo? And is this piece fair for Simone? But first of all, for Angelo, what do we know? We know that this whole part is worth, this whole half is worth $9. Well, what was the fair share value? Fair share value was $9. So we don't have to even do any calculation here to know that this piece from 0 to 4 is less than $9. So it is not fair for Angelo. Now for Simone, let's look and see if this piece from 4 to 12 would be fair for her. Well, what is this piece? It's all of the meatball, so at least $6, plus, again, 2 inches, that 4 to 6, 2 inches of the vegetarian. But this time, this vegetarian side is worth a total of $12. So those $12 divided up among those 6 inches that are over on this side means that each inch here is worth $2. So we know that each of those inches is worth $2. And 2 plus 2 is 4. So these 2 inches, 2 plus 2, which makes 4, plus 6, makes this 4 to 12 piece have a value of $10. Would that be a fair share for Simone? Well, remember what the fair share value is. It looks awful over here the way I wrote it, but you know what it is. The fair share value is $9. So this $10 would be yes, it is fair share because it's at least $9. Okay, there's a look at which pieces would be a fair share.